All right, take a look at your screens right now. Trump's media stock is down 18% right there. You can see it. It has been dropping throughout the morning. This comes after the company that owns Truth Social posted financial numbers this morning. CNN's Matt Egan joins me now. Matt, this is no April Fool's joke, but it might be making some fools out of investors out there.
Yeah, Jimmy, it might be. We should note, though, that this stock really had been going up like a rocket ship until now. These new numbers are forcing a mini reality check. I say mini because despite the loss of 18% as we speak, we're still talking about a stock that has skyrocketed about 200% so far this year. It spiked in January when Donald Trump ran away with the Iowa caucuses and up again as the company went public. So here's the latest numbers that are concerning investors. Truth Social owner Trump Media lost $58 million last year, and it generated very, very little revenue, just $4.1 million in revenue. Put some context around that figure of revenue. If you look back at what Twitter generated when it went public about a decade ago, in that final year when it went public, $665 million, more than 100 times what Trump Media has been able to rake in. And some of this is not shocking because we know that Truth Social is struggling. I mean, it is shrinking.
Welcome to What Was That? I'm Gabe Sanchez. Donald Trump's Twitter knockoff, Truth Social, is plummeting after it reported losses of over $100 million over the past 2 years. Once again, proving what we already knew. Truth Social, much like Trump, is a
Le who? The her.
According to filings made to the SEC, Truth Social reported a net loss of over $58 million in 2023, alongside more than $50 million in losses in 2022. This thing is like a money incinerator. I mean, look at the way this stock is plummeting.
You know, I knew, you knew, Neil Cavuto knew that it was not making money. Now, when you don't make money and you're a public company, and they are a public company now, trading under the symbol DJT, you're going to have to do filings and basically tell the investing public material events. One material event, or a couple of them, was that it's losing tons of money, as we know. But also, I think one of the other things in there that was striking was that it did warn that this, I got to get the exact language, but it said something along the lines of, you know, that this has a very questionable future, meaning it might not be around so long. So you put all that together and you got a massive move downward in the stock. I think the stock would go down more if Donald wasn't holding, obviously. So Donald controls 60% of the shares. You know, once he starts selling, if he sells, and this is my personal belief, nothing I know, I think he will, because I don't think he wants to sit on, you know, the paper while you know, in a slow burn. You know, this thing could go down really fast, really fast and really hard.
And what's even more embarrassing is Donald Trump's incel social network brought in only $5.4 million in gross profit over the last 2 years.
That's embarrassing.
This is not new either. Truth Social has consistently reported more deaths than revenue and agreed to pay the SEC $18 million to revise its false filings to comply with securities laws. The top financial partner of former President Donald Trump's media company violated anti-fraud provisions and misled investors about its initial plans to take the owner of Trump's Truth Social website public.
Who saw that coming?
Now, Trump is hoping that this will be the financial lifeline that he desperately needs to pay off the mountain of legal expenses related to various civil and criminal court cases. However, Trump will not be allowed to sell his shares in the company for at least 6 months.
Digital World Acquisition Corporation, which had announced an intention a few years ago to acquire Trump's media company, which included Truth Social. Now, there were a number of hiccups. There were some investigations, which is the reason why that's only consummating right now. But that could stand to net him about $3 billion in net worth. But here's the thing. Tom brought up the point of liquidity, right? They have to be liquid assets. And yes, even though he might make about $3 billion in terms of wealth from holding those securities, he cannot sell them instantly, because in the agreement from the merger, he can't sell them within the 6 months.
Can
so that's important to note.
negotiate that, though, within the terms of the merger? He owns so much of it. Might he be able to get out of that that constraint if he asks?
Yeah, well, I mean, once the company is officially created and then trades on the stock exchange, which will be tomorrow, there could be some movement among the board of directors, which he has appointed, to vote in favor of changing the bylaws to allow him to sell the securities. But I want to point out that even if that does happen, that could potentially open him up to a shareholder lawsuit, because let's say, for example, they do change the bylaws, he sells and dumps a bunch of stock, and then the stock price tanks. Well, if the shareholders say, well, that wasn't very much in the interest of the shareholders.
And now Trump's base has bought his meme meme stock and are losing their shirts over it. Like MAGA moron Tim the Fool Pool, who bragged on Twitter about buying Truth Social stock. Which is weird because he doesn't even have a Truth Social account. So I guess he does not believe in the company? But these idiots made their bed and now they're gonna have to lie in it. And speaking of beds, I want to thank today's sponsor, Miracle Made. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice if not nicer than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe to try Miracle Sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo Gabe at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Gabe and use the code Gabe to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Gabe to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Now, Truth Social might be crashing on the stock market, but I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump told us that it was doing very well and it was growing rapidly. Here, let's just take a look at the careers page on their website. We're hiring the most talented people in engineering, marketing, operations, moderation, and finance. Never mind, there are only 2 job openings.
Well, that's just awkward.
All jokes aside, Truth Social is burning through cash and losing monthly active users, which is a core metric of a social network's health. And according to the financial documents, this is something that Trump and Truth Social are not willing to release because, well, if they did, it would totally expose their scam.
Monthly active US users on iOS and Android down 51% year over year. It's not just much smaller than Twitter, it's even smaller than Threads. And I think all of this just underscores why there's a lot of warnings out there about this stock, right? One professor told me it's a bubble, another basically called it a meme stock. So Jim, listen, we're gonna see this stock go up and down because its valuation right now is very, very high.
Yeah, what a shocker that this is a meme stock. All right, Matt Egan, caveat emptor, buyer beware.
Truth Social's business model is completely consistent with Trump's other failed businesses.
My new game is Trump, the game.
Trump, the game where you deal for everything you've ever wanted to own.
Come to the castle in Atlantic City. It's more than a hotel, it's a 4-star resort. At Trump University, we teach success. That's what it's all about, success. It's going to happen to you. Trump steaks are by far the best tasting, most flavorful beef you've ever had. So what do you think of my Trump home mattress collection by Serta? Finally, the same luxury and comfort I demand in my hotels. I'd like to tell you something about ACN, which is really on the cusp of technological advancements that will change the way we communicate. Ready for business. The Donald J. Trump Signature Collection, only at Macy's.
Every one of those commercials and ads for Trump's businesses and partnerships have gone belly up. And as soon as Trump sells his position, Truth Social will be no different.
I think that the value is essentially worthless. This is a company that doesn't make any money. And sure, they could change the bylaws and end the lockup period and go to market and sell a share. Someone will buy a share, 2 shares. But if they went to market and tried to sell $3 billion, the value of the stock would go to 0.
Now, just for context, Twitter generated around $665 million in revenue for the year leading up to its IPO, and $5.2 billion in the final year before Elon Musk took over. And since Elon has taken over, the company has lost most of its advertisers and is hemorrhaging money.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f
yourself.
Leave it to Republicans to destroy a company in the blink of an eye. And if you ever wondered what a social network dedicated to Trump is used for, look no further than his cult attacking Democrats, President Biden, and any judges overseeing his many cases.
The other thing that's popped up in the last couple of days, Trump going after Judge Merchan's daughter by name on Truth Social. Of course, he's the judge overseeing the Alvin Bragg case that you just mentioned a few moments ago. What does this mean for the judicial system? When this repeatedly happens and there aren't any consequences for Trump. He's been admonished, by judges not to cross the line rhetorically in certain ways. There have been limited gag orders put in place here and there. Nothing really does the trick.
Yeah, and this is a huge mistake because this is exactly what authoritarians do. They go after prosecutors, lawyers, judges, anybody who can try and hold them accountable, and they go after their families. This is one of the regular things been happening since Mussolini. Even if people go into exile, if a regime takes hold, they go after your family who might be left in the country. So what Trump did here was call the judge's daughter a rabid Trump hater. Though that's a phrase which he knows is going to anger his opponents who are very loyal to him. And thus he's doing things deliberately to create a climate of hostility that could result in physical violence. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Now, despite Trump's Twitter knockoff crashing in real time, we should be aware of the billionaires helping Trump, like hedge fund manager Jeff Yass.
He keeps on putting himself on what he appears to be apparent coincidences in a variety of different things involving the Republican Party and Donald Trump. Part of those millions that he's been giving to the GOP have gone to a group called the Club for Growth, which is actively pushing back on this TikTok bill. He's an investor into ByteDance, meanwhile, the parent company of TikTok. And then, at the same time, Susquehanna International in December was at that point an investor into Digital World Acquisition, the company that really helped the Trump media business to become public. So it seems to be these strange coincidences that keep on coming up. When we talk to people near him, they always push back and they say, Jeff Yass is interested in dealing with these types of things. He's more focused on education-related matters. But again, these things keep coming up, and at the very least, it's kind of odd, and it seems to be continuing a coincidence for a person who's giving millions of dollars to the Republican Party at this very time.
Well, that's all for me today. Thanks so much for watching, and feel free to follow me at I Am Gabe Sanchez. And if you'd like to contribute to the show and join our ever-growing community, you can subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/IamGabeSanchez. So until next episode, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?